Friday evening Bhagavad Gita weekly study circle, where we are, I hope we are very systematically study the Bhagavad Gita and find the links between important sections. So today we'll be coming to the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Last few weeks we have completed the first chapter, in which we discussed various wonderful lessons from the different sections, where we saw in the beginning the Dhritarashtra's attachment and Duryodhana's diplomacy. Like that, we went on to the Arjuna's desire to observe the party on the other side. And we saw the strengths on the Kauravas and Pandavas side, how dharma and adharma, how they tally, how they balance, where they find the strength in. We also saw how Arjuna, because of natural devotion, devotional heart, he felt a great attachment, mental attachment to the opponents who are his relatives. And there he found himself very much perplexed or overwhelmed whether to fight or not fight. And then he gives his 5 reasons. We have discussed the 5 reasons, and maximum actually basically we discussed the 4 reasons. And the 5th reason comes here in this section. So the first chapter elaborated on the 4 reasons. The 4 reasons of Arjuna not to fight were the compassion. He felt compassion for the bodies of the opponents who are his relatives, grandfathers and gurus. And then the second reason he gives about enjoyment, how his enjoyment is tainted with the blood of his relatives. And in this way, neither will be able to enjoy peacefully, even if he gains victory. And the third reason which Arjuna gives is about fear of sinful reactions. He was fearful. He was fearful that he is not following the Shastras properly. That one Shastra says, the other Shastra says that he should kill the aggressors who are on the Dharma, who are doing sinful activities, you have to kill them. But the Dharma Shastra speak that even if relatives, your guru and great grandfather like that, very elderly people, they commit some mistakes, they could be forgiven. They need not to be killed. In this way, we see that how Arjuna gives the reason of fearing sinful reaction he may acquire by not following Shastras. And the 4th reason Arjuna gives is that the family culture is destroyed because of his own desire to be on the top of the world. Many men will be killed. And because when men are killed, naturally religion will develop in the society, where women get polluted and a lot of Varna Shankara comes out. And he feels that he will be responsible for destroying the family traditions around it. So, while quoting all these 4 reasons, he comes to further explain his inability, where he actually physically went out by giving up his bow and arrow. He drops down till now, Arjuna is standing and Krishna is sitting. And now Arjuna sits down, because of losing hope. And then Krishna stands up. Krishna stands up and he starts instructing Arjuna. So today we have one of the very good lady with us, Sauti Mataji. From last around 3 to 4 months, not 6 months, around 6 months back, she came in touch. She's been a very sincere lady. practicing devotional service. And she's eager to attend. She comes very far, even for our weekly classes on Sundays. She takes a time. Many of devotees find difficult to attend weekly classes, even though they may stay nearby. But she stays quite far, and she travels. She travels more than 2 hours or so, and comes for the classes. She will be presenting today's session on second chapter. We are beginning the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where Arjuna's Vishada Yoga turns into a very hope-giving situation. Anything bad happens in life now, there is a good reason for it. There is something good is going to manifest. So we will see in Arjuna's case that's going to happen. And so we request Sati Mataji to present on the first 10 verses of chapter 2. Yes, Mataji. Now it's your
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Dandavat Pranam to you all and Balaram Prabhu. I am discussing verse 1 to 10 as a favor to you all of you. मैं प्रभु जी वो डायरेक्ट चालू करूँ क्या या फिर प्रणाम मंत्र बोलूं?
You can offer the prayers.
Okay, प्रभु जी. ओम अज्ञानं तिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपं कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखा नितां. Hello, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, you can hear me?
Yes, we are here.
हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधाकांत नमस्तुते. तप्त कांचन गौरांगे राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद. Starting. Krishna is almighty. He is the one who can cure all lamentation in our heart. So while seeing his pure devotee Arjuna lamenting, having material compassion or having certain negativities in his heart, he decided to speak to Arjuna. Lamenting over material issues or having self-doubt or ignorance will not help us in self-realization, because if there is ignorance in our heart, we cannot see our true self, which is we are eternal parts and parcels of Krishna. Here, these negativities in our heart is visualized as demons, which kills our way of pure thinking. So we know Krishna is Madhusudana, because he is killer of Madhu demon. So we take shelter on lotus feet of the Lord. He can kill all the negativities, namely lust, greed, material compassion, materialistic illusion, anger, etc., which are no less than demons, and make us free from there if we really surrender unto him sincerely. We do not know how to show compassion, but Krishna knows, so we must take his guidance from Bhagavad Gita. That's why he chose to speak Gita in order to deliver and chose Arjuna as medium to speak Gita, so that the message of Gita is helping us to deliver the contaminated souls like us. So Arjuna was a very generous person. He was a Kshatriya, but due to over attachment with family members and over compassion for them, made him think like a very lowly man, and he even started questioning Krishna. So by this example, we can see how toxic is material compassion and how helpless you become after thinking like this. this is when you should surely and sincerely surrender to Krishna, so that he can eradicate this kind of material attachment, self-ignorance, and all negativities, because he is the only one who can dissipate us from all kinds of lamentations. Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, therefore he is referred to as Bhagwan in Gita. So here the Almighty Lord questions Arjuna.
One thing, so, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah, when you are making the statements, you are well framed in the statement. However, you please quote which verse you are referring to when you are speaking.
Okay, Prabhuji, I will. Okay,
you just repeat.
I will try to do.
This is the verse number, this one, from there I am speaking this one, something like that will be more.
Okay, Prabhuji.
And I am sharing the screen as per it. The verse is over,
Okay,
then you
Prabhuji.
can go to that. Okay.
Okay, Prabhuji. So in verse number 2, we see Krishna is said as Sri Bhagwan Uvacha. So here Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Therefore, he is referred to as Bhagwan. So he is asking Arjuna how a realized soul like Arjuna has fallen so much. Actually, this question is not only for Arjuna, this question is for all of us, because and it is really necessary for all of us in our self-realization and journey to know about the absolute truth. So here, the absolute truth. Prabhuji, can you show me the verses on the screen? No problem. The absolute truth is realized in 3 phases. Yes, Prabhuji. Absolute truth is realized in 3 phases. That is 3 phases of understanding. That is Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan. So according to Srimad Bhagavatam, let's take an example of sun. We are comparing Bhagwan to sun. That Prabhuji, I want to speak in Hindi in some cases. There is no problem.
Surely, no problem. Yes.
तो मतलब भगवान को हम सूरज के साथ एक बार तुलना कर सकते हैं. तो अगर there are तीन टाइप के लोग हैं जो भगवान के बारे में समझना चाह रहे हैं. तो जो सिर्फ सूरज की किरण को जान रहे हैं, लेकिन दूर से भगवान को देख रहे हैं, दैट इज ब्रह्म ज्ञानी. जो सूरज वो बहुत बेसिक लेवल ऑफ ट्रांसेंडेंटल स्टूडेंट्स है. तो जो थोड़ा और पास से देख रहे हैं, वो थोड़ा सूरज के सरफेस को स्टडी करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. तो वो भगवान को थोड़ा और पास जाके देखने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. तो ये जो कि परमात्मा के बारे में जानने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, तो उनको हम इन ब्रह्म ज्ञानी से थोड़ा बेटर लेवल ऑफ स्टूडेंट कह सकते हैं. और जो भगवान के बारे में जानना चाह रहे हैं, ये तीनों में से हाईएस्ट, दैट इज सूरज के सरफेस में एंटर कर चुके हैं. हाँ, ऐसे देख सकते हैं कि वो लोग सबसे इन तीनों कैटेगरी में सबसे हाईएस्ट लेवल ऑफ स्टूडेंट है, मतलब बेस्ट लेवल है. तो हमें ये तीनों लेवल की जानकारी करवाने के बाद प्रभुपाद जी हमें भगवान के बारे में डायरेक्ट बोलते हैं, क्योंकि प्रभुपाद जी हमारा सबके गुरु है, और वो गुरु का कंपैशन और प्यार होता है, जो कि मतलब बेस्ट नॉलेज देने का, मतलब अपने शिष्य को बेस्ट नॉलेज देने का. तो प्रभुपाद जी बताते हैं, द सुप्रीम पर्सनालिटी ऑफ गॉड है, supreme personality who possesses all richness, all strength, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge, all renunciation, extraordinary potency is Bhagwan, or the supreme personality of Godhead. No living entity, including Brahma, Shiva, or Narayana, can claim all of the above in same potency as Krishna. So he is the supreme personality of the Godhead. तो हम ये ब्रह्म संहिता का पहला श्लोक ऐसे उसमें कोट कर सकते हैं कि ईश्वर परम कृष्ण सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनादिरादिर गोविंद सर्व कारण कारण। कृष्णा गोविंदा है जो हमारे सब सेंसेस को मतलब कंट्रोल करते हैं, और ही इज द सुप्रीम पर्सनालिटी ऑफ गॉडहेड। अभी पता चला दैट he has eternal blissful spiritual body and he is origin of all. He has no other origin. He is the prime causes of all causes. और अभी भगवतम में हम लोग लास्ट क्लास में डिस्कस किए थे कि सारा मतलब जितना अवतार है वो आइदर पार्ट्स ऑफ द प्लेनरी एक्सपेंशन से और प्लेनरी एक्सपेंशन से सुप्रीम पर्सनालिटी की, पर कृष्णा सुप्रीम भगवान खुद है। तो जब कृष्णा अर्जुन के सामने प्रेजेंट है, हाँ, और इतना क्लोजली प्रेजेंट है, तो अर्जुन इस स्थिति में अगर क्षत्रिय धर्म भूल रहे हैं तो वो एक्सेप्टेबल नहीं है। मोर ओवर हम लोग देखते हैं नेक्स्ट वर्स में कि अर्जुन को पार्थ बोल के बुलाया जाता है। तो इससे हमको पता चलता है कि कृष्णा के साथ उनका क्लोज रिलेशन है, रिलेटिव है एक तरीके से, क्योंकि उनकी वसुदेव की सम सॉर्ट ऑफ सिस्टर के बेटे थे वो। तो इन अ वे तो वो बहुत ही क्लोज हुए और बहुत मतलब बहुत ही क्लोज फ्रेंड है, और कृष्णा उनकी चैरियटर के हिसाब से काम कर रहे। कृष्णा इतना प्रेम करते उनसे, लेकिन अर्जुन इस स्थिति में जब अनकंट्रोलेबल हो रहे तो ये थोड़ा अनएक्सेप्टेबल है। अभी नेक्स्ट वर्स में क्षत्रिय कृष्णा बोलते हैं कि अर्जुन को क्षत्रिय बस नाम के क्षत्रिय है। तो क्षत्रिय हमको पता है क्षत्रिय क्षत्रिय नहीं बोला जा सकता अगर वो क्षत्रिय के धर्म को भूल जाए, दैट इज फाइटिंग के धर्म को भूल जाए। और ब्राह्मण को ब्राह्मण नहीं बोला जा सकता इफ वो ऑस्टेरिटीज भूल जाए। तो अर्जुन जब डायरेक्ट कृष्णा सामने बैठे, उनके अंदर इतना कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं आ रहा है जो भी कारण हो कि फाइट करे। तो कृष्णा उनको फोर्थ वर्स में बोलते हैं कि यू आर क्षत्रिय बाय नेम ओनली। सो बिकॉज he is not following guidance of Krishna and becoming unutterably magnanimous for Bhishma, Duryodhana, Drona, etc. जो ऊपर उल्टा साइड में खड़े हैं, and accepting non-violence जो पॉसिबल नहीं है, क्योंकि बैटल फील्ड में हम लोग स्थिति आया है तो युद्ध करना ही होता है। तो इन स्पाइट ऑफ रिपीटेड सेइंग्स बाय कृष्णा, और समझाने के बाद भी अर्जुन कृष्णा को एक्सक्यूजेस देने लगते क्योंकि वो बहुत डरे हुए थे। एक बहुत भला इंसान थे तो बहुत डरे हुए थे। वो ये रीजंस देते हैं, respectable superiors like Bhishma, Dronacharya are always worshipable. Even if they attack, they should not be attacked verbally or physically. He even argued with Krishna कि वो कृष्णा को भी प्रश्न पूछने लगे कि आप अपने दादाजी को हर्ट करेंगे क्या, आप अपने गुरुजी को हर्ट करेंगे क्या, जो कि बहुत ही irrelevant है इस स्थिति में। अभी सेकंड रीजन वो देते हैं कि इट्स बेटर टू लिव इन द वर्ल्ड बेगिंग देन टू लिव एट द कॉस्ट ऑफ लाइव्स ऑफ ग्रेट सोल्स, क्योंकि वो बहुत कंफ्यूज है कि क्या मतलब क्या करे। लेकिन हमें यहाँ पे रियलिटी दिख रहा है कि ग्रेट सोल्स लाइक भीष्मा, द्रोणा, जो भी कारण हो, हाँ, मटेरियल कारण हो, जो भी कारण हो, वो एक्चुअली उल्टा साइड में खड़े हैं। जहाँ कृष्णा जहाँ है गॉडेस का फॉर्चून है, उसके उल्टे ऑपोजिट टीम में खड़े हैं। तो वो लोग अभी आ रहे हैं। He was thinking that fighting with his own brothers for unnecessary violence, although fighting is the first duty of Kshatriyas. तो हमें ये सब स्थिति देख के, ये सब अर्जुन की एक्सक्यूजेस देख के हमें पता चलता है कि वो बहुत ही ज्यादा डरे हुए हैं और बहुत ही ज्यादा सेल्फ डाउट और इग्नोरेंस, सेल्फ इग्नोरेंस में है। अभी ये 2.7 जो वर्स है वो बहुत मेरे लिए, मैं अपने लिए बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट वर्स मानती हूँ, क्योंकि ये वर्स हमें प्रैक्टिकली दिखाते हैं कि कैसे गुरु के प्रति हम सरेंडर कर सकते हैं, गुरु और अल्टीमेटली भगवान के ऊपर हम लोग कैसे सरेंडर कर सकते हैं। तो now maddened by his lost senses, Arjuna doesn't know what to do, and he fell on his knees, sobbing in front of Krishna, and begs him to accept him as his disciple. क्योंकि हम जब बहुत मतलब डिफिकल्ट सिचुएशन में है, हमें सच में रियल गाइड की जरूरत है। मैं ये अपने लाइफ से देखती हूँ, ये जरूरत है लाइफ में, देखने बहुत जरूरत है। तो एंड अर्जुन को अपने मन में पता है कि ये क्योंकि ये प्योर डिवोटी ऑफ लॉर्ड है, तो इनको ये मन में पता है ये लैमेंटेशन सब कुछ नहीं होना चाहिए, पर उनको वो बाहर वो क्यों हो रहा है, कैसे हो रहा है, उनको कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा, तो इसीलिए कृष्णा पे सरेंडर करते हैं। By nature's own way of complete system of material activities is a source of perplexity for everyone. In every step, there will be difficulties. Thus, we should dedicate ourselves to a bona fide spiritual master who can give one proper guidance for executing the purpose of life. We should surrender in a similar way to Gurudev as we should be realized enough that we are helpless without him. So, by mercy of spiritual master, क्योंकि by the mercy of spiritual master you can overcome all perplexities of your life, or we can solve our life as a human and have our spiritual realization, understand the science behind our existence and beyond that. And we won't be unfortunate enough after gaining some bit of this knowledge from Gurudev. At least we won't be unfortunate enough to live this earth or live this life as cats, dogs, or other animals. By mercy of Gurudev, you will come to the realization that purpose of human life, and you will finally become intelligent spiritually. That is the reason you should sincerely surrender to Gurudev as soon as possible. Otherwise, we will remain ever helpless and filled with miserable contamination of the material world. तो above श्लोक हमें प्रैक्टिकली डेमोन्स्ट्रेट करते हैं कि कैसे गुरुदेव के प्रति हमें श्रद्धावान होना चाहिए। तो अर्जुन यहाँ पे अपना ये श्लोक में देखते हैं, अर्जुन अपने आप को कार्पण्य कहते हैं, क्योंकि और कार्पण्य वो है क्योंकि जो ओवरली कॉम्पैशनेट फॉर फैमिली है, सोसाइटी है, कंट्री है, जो मतलब वो सोचते हैं कि हम सब कुछ कर सकते हैं, सबको प्रोटेक्ट कर सकते हैं, या फिर हम कर सकते हैं, ये मैं कर सकता हूँ, मैं उसको हेल्प कर सकता हूँ, पर उनको ये रियलाइजेशन नहीं होता है कि एक्चुअली सब कुछ करने वाले भगवान होते हैं। डेथ और डिजीजेस जो प्राइम कॉज है, मतलब सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है, वो भगवान ही कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं। तो एनिमल्स को भी ऐसा सोच है कि हम प्रोटेक्ट कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि हम देखते हैं एनिमल्स अपने बच्चे को बहुत प्रोटेक्शन देते हैं, सब अपने फैमिली को प्रोटेक्शन कर देते हैं, जो कि असल में ये मतलब बहुत ही नीच सोच है कि हम दे सकते हैं प्रोटेक्शन, एक्चुअली भगवान देते हैं। तो अर्जुन, हमें ये समझना चाहिए अर्जुन एक्चुअली कार्पण्य नहीं है, क्योंकि मन से नहीं है, क्योंकि वो बहुत बड़े डिवोटी है भगवान के। तो पर उनको अंदर ही अंदर मालूम है कि वो परप्लेक्स है, तो उनको जब पता नहीं लग रहा है कि क्या करना है, क्या कुछ करना है, क्योंकि उनका सिचुएशन ऐसा है, हाँ, तो वो तब कृष्णा की तरफ जाते हैं। ये हम लोग को भी करना चाहिए, क्योंकि हम लोग बहुत ज्यादा फॉलन है एंड वी आर हेल्पलेस, thus we should always turn towards Gurudeva in mood of total surrender so that we can get out of our perplexities and do not forget our duties as Jivatma. Krishna is therefore the original spiritual master and Arjuna is his first student. This is how we should try to understand Gita and surrender ourselves to the listening of Gita sincerely, just like Arjuna did, and we should read Gita under the influence of very pure devotees. क्योंकि लास्टली हम लोग ये डिस्कशन से बोलते हैं कि although Arjuna was putting forward, next श्लोक 8 के purport देखेंगे। तो Arjuna was putting forward so many arguments based on knowledge of principles, religions, moral codes. It appears that he was unable to solve his real problem without the help of spiritual master Lord Sri Krishna. He would understand his so-called knowledge was useless in driving away his problem, which was drying up his whole existence, and it was impossible for him to solve such perplexities without the help of spiritual masters like Lord Krishna. Academic knowledge, scholarship, high position, etc. are all useless in solving the problems of life. Help can be given only by a spiritual master like Krishna. यह मेरी लाइफ के एग्जाम्पल में थोड़ा रखना चाहूंगी कि मैं 2 साल पहले जब मैं क्लास 12th 11th में थी, तो मैं साइंस की स्टूडेंट रह चुकी हूँ। मैं बहुत ज्यादा मार्क्स के पीछे भागती थी, बहुत मार्क्स लाया भी। तो लेकिन वो सब कुछ मैटर नहीं करता अल्टीमेटली। वो डिप्रेशन, एंजाइटी, एंगर इश्यूज बना रहता है जब तक हम लोग कंप्लीटली सरेंडर नहीं होते कृष्णा की तरफ। और कृष्णा की तरफ अगर हम लोग सरेंडर होना चाहते हैं, तो हमें एक बोनाफाइड स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर चाहिए। हाँ, तो अकॉर्डिंग टू लॉर्ड चैतन्य, एक बोनाफाइड स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर वही है जो पूर्ण रूप से कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस में डूबे हुए हैं। मतलब कृष्णा के प्रेमामृत में डूबे हुए हैं, जो कृष्णा के प्रेम को एक्सेप्ट किए हैं। और मतलब उस प्रेम को वो वितरण भी कर सकते हैं। ना तो कि कोई शास्त्रवेद या फिर शास्त्र पढ़ना ऑफकोर्स जरूरी है, लेकिन सिर्फ शास्त्रवेद होके हम लोग मतलब कोई भी अगर बहुत बड़े ब्राह्मण की लेवल में, ब्राह्मण की फैमिली से भी वो क्यों ना हो, वो एक बोनाफाइड स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर नहीं बन सकते। और हमें अपना जो लैमेंटेशन है, मटेरियल वर्ल्ड का जो लैमेंटेशन है, अल्टीमेटली वहां से हम लोग बाहर नहीं आ सकते उनके हाथ पकड़ के। क्योंकि वो हमें जो बोनाफाइड स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर है, वो अल्टीमेटली हमें कृष्णा की तरफ सरेंडर करवाते हैं। और जब भी हम लोग कृष्णा की चरण कमल में सरेंडर करते हैं, हम लोगों का सब दुख दर्द खत्म हो जाता है। ये मैंने प्रैक्टिकली थोड़ा एक्सपीरियंस किया है। तो birth, old age, disease, death cannot be countered by accumulation of wealth, economic development और educational status। हम लोग IIT और या फिर इतना जगह पे देखते हैं बहुत लोग सुसाइडल है, क्योंकि उनको प्रॉपर स्पिरिचुअल नॉलेज नहीं है। तो ये कभी भी मिट सकता है। तो अल्टीमेटली हमें ये यहाँ पे ध्यान देना चाहिए कि हमें अल्टीमेटली जो हमारा गोल होना चाहिए, एक जीवात्मा के हिसाब से, एक ह्यूमन बीइंग के हिसाब से, क्योंकि बहुत कष्ट से हमें ह्यूमन लाइफ मिला है। वो अल्टीमेट गोल है कि हम भगवान कृष्णा के प्रेममय भक्ति में हम लोग लीन हो जाए, एक प्रॉपर बोनाफाइड स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर की पैर पकड़ के, ऐसे लगता है। और आजकल की जो जमाना है इतना फास्ट हो गया है, तो हमें पूरा वेदास, उपनिषद ये कोई नहीं पढ़ सकता। इतना मेमोरी भी शायद ही किसी बहुत कम लोगों में होगा। तो एक ही ग्रंथ में हम लोग अपने आप को सरेंडर कर सकते हैं, वो भगवत गीता है। क्योंकि वो भगवान के मुख कमल से आता है, और वो मतलब वो हर वेदा का सार है। मतलब एवरी वेदा लीड्स टू द, एवरी शास्त्र लीड्स टू द लव ऑफ गॉड। तो भगवत गीता और प्रभुपाद जी का इतना सुंदर लिखा हुआ पर्पट हमें वही दिशा में ले जाते हैं। तो अगर रैशनल इतना फास्ट वर्ल्ड में हम लोग रह रहे हैं, तो यही अल्टीमेट बुक है। मतलब और कुछ पढ़े ना पढ़े, भगवत गीता एटलीस्ट ये वाला पढ़ना चाहिए, भगवत गीता। तो इतना ही था प्रभु जी। और हमें अर्जुन जैसा सरेंडर करना चाहिए भगवत गीता पे। हरि बोल प्रभु जी, इतना ही था। हरे
Hare
कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
Hare Krishna, sir.
I can't hear actually.
You're able to hear now?
Hari बोल, I couldn't hear actually.
You're
Yes,
able
I
to hear
can hear
now?
now.
You spoke so
Yes, Prabhuji, I
nicely.
can hear now.
You spoke so amazingly.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
You
Oh, it's
spoke
your
as if
glories
you're
and
a
Srila Prabhupada's glories.
you spoke as if you're a preacher from more than 25 years.
Prabhuji, it's all your glories. जो आपने पढ़ा है उसकी हिसाब से मैंने बोली है।
Amazingly, you covered maximum important points from Prabhupada purports. That is very amazing way you studied. You highlighted on very, very amazing aspects from Prabhupada purports. Actually, one of the best preaching is you just repeat what Prabhupada has mentioned. And the powerful statements. And that's what you also did today. Prabhupada speaks many important points about that Bhagavan, Krishna, Bhagavan, and he also speaks about the perplexities of the world. And no matter how much you try, the human life is full of perplexities. Statement. Proper statements are very powerful, and you repeated them and elaborated. That's a very amazing thing. I am seeing so many wonderful devotees here. They're speaking from their with best preparation. So that's why we having this study circle, where so that at least devotees get inspiration to study proper books more deeply. So thank you very much.
Prabhuji, I want to share one small thing as well. I was very fallen, and after I read this Bhagavad Gita, one Prabhuji gave me at Pune, 2 years ago. After I read this Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada has actually. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Your voice is cutting. You can cut your video. I think it's taking a lot of wavelength. Then you speak.
Okay, sir.
No.
ओके सर एक्चुअली प्रभु जी मैं प्रभुपाद जी से इतना ज्यादा इन्फ्लुएंस्ड हूँ क्योंकि पूना इंस्कॉन में एक प्रभु जी ने मुझे बहुत
आके सर बताइए
हरे कृष्णा
आपका मिस हाँ
यस प्लीज।
हाँ तो मैं जब 2 साल पहले मैं पूना विजिट की थी तो पूना इंस्कॉन में मैं ऐसे मैं बचपन से सेवा थोड़ा बहुत करती थी, भगवान का विग्रह था हमारे घर पे। तो अभी जब पूना इंस्कॉन में गई मेरे को तब तक प्रॉपर गाइडेंस नहीं था और ऐसे लगता था मैं ना बंधी हुई वे में मैं सेवा कर रही हूँ। पर जब प्रभुपाद जी आए ना मेरी लाइफ में एक भगवत गीता के थ्रू, ये जो गीता में पढ़ रही हूँ हम लोग या थ्रू, तो 2 साल पहले प्रभु जी ने मुझे गिफ्ट किया तो तब से लगा कि सम इनविजिबल फोर्स जो मैं देख नहीं सकती, एक्चुअली इनविजिबल है नहीं, तो वो मेरे को हाथ पकड़ के सब कुछ सिखा रहे हैं और अल्टीमेटली आप जैसे गुरु के पास मुझे शिक्षा लेने के लिए भेज ही दिए एक्चुअली। तो मैं बहुत ग्रेटफुल हूँ प्रभुपाद जी की, मतलब प्रभुपाद जी के लिए ऐसे।
So earlier you were connected to Pune, ISKCON Pune?
No, I wasn't connected. Actually, one brother of mine is a devotee there. He's initiated devotee. I guess he's doing seva over there. He actually brought me into this. I wasn't connected to ISKCON Pune. I was just reading Prabhupada's books and chanting the mala for 2 years or like that.
So nice, so nice. Many devotees also expressed their good wishes and congratulations to you. So that is very nice.
I'm very grateful to them. I'm not comparable to them. They are great devotees, Prabhuji.
Very. So okay, we want the devotees study nicely and present during this time of study. So thank you very much for your wonderful preparation and explanation.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat.
So we will be echoing, at least I will be echoing whatever Satyam Mataji has spoken, taking some perspectives from practical life, and as she highlighted on Prabhupada purpose, we will also be highlighting certain points from Prabhupada purpose and see today's. We'll go till 9:15 or 9:50, then we can take some question and answers. Okay. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunuttamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutare Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityananda. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pachari Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasha Dedeshakara. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare. So, we discussed in the earlier sessions about the 5 reasons which Arjuna gives for not fighting. So, these are the 5 reasons. And we see on the opposite side, Krishna's answers to these 5 reasons, which are addressed in the 2nd chapter, which we are beginning today. So Arjuna gives the 5 reasons. Okay, let me this down. Okay, am I audible? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji, you are audible.
Yeah. So Arjuna gives 5 reasons: compassion, no enjoyment, fear of sin, destruction of family tradition, decision. So Krishna systematically answers in the second chapter how Arjuna's reasoning is not so good. However, you see, Krishna gave sufficient time for Arjuna to speak it out. Sometimes in our life, maximum problems are solved when you get opportunity to share your problems. You see, you are going through a certain problem, you get someone senior or someone whom you can confide. Confide means where you can express out. You can express out your heart. You can express out and where you are confident that person won't misunderstand you or he won't misuse you for your limitations or faults which you have, or he doesn't, he or she doesn't undermine you, or what do you call, exploit you for your weaknesses. So we need someone to confide in. This is one of the important principles today is brought out, need of a guru. A guru is not a person who shows some magic to you. Nowadays become a very popular. No? Guru means one who shows some magic or one who understands the mind and speaks out everything what is there in your mind. Need not to be. Guru means one who at least don't misunderstand what you have spoken out. At least who accepts what you are, irrespective of your differences which you are expressing. He represents the Shastras and speaks what is actually benefiting to you. That you may not like or dislike. You may dislike it or you may like it. So, but what benefits you, he will speak that. So, 4 people, according to Shastras, we should be very open. We should have confidence in them. We should not keep any secrets with them. Their first is, according to Chanakya Pandit, he says, a doctor. And second person is a lawyer. And the third person is a guru. And fourth person is the police. So like that, Shastras give how it's important to speak out the, you cannot keep secret with them. If you keep secret from the doctor, then what happens? The doctor cannot diagnose your problem. He will not able to help you out. What are symptoms you are going through? Okay. Is there any change? Are you following the medication properly? If you try to hide, not follow, then it can't be helped. Similarly, lawyer who is actually fighting for your case. So he has to know everything. Whether you did you're guilty of it, you should express it. And he will worry about how to protect you from the law. Similarly, the third person, police. And be very careful and expressing exactly what it is there, so that you will not be unnecessarily get into complications. And the fourth person is the guru. Certainly, we approach all these 4 people for different reasons. But whatever reason we approach, we should express it honestly. That's what we see in Arjuna's case. He expressed it. The entire first chapter, you see his expression only. Hardly we see Krishna speaking there. But when it comes to second chapter, we find that very interestingly. Here, when Arjuna dropped down and sat in the chariot, Krishna rose. Till now, Arjuna was standing and Krishna was sitting and hearing. And Arjuna sat down and Krishna stood up. When Krishna stood up, he stood up and he spoken. Very important way he expresses his, you can say he is consoling. He is speaking out what he feels for Arjuna. Very important point. Okay, we'll see that aspect again in this. So we see he gives 5 reasons and then Krishna will certainly counter them. But before countering, there's a very important step. Setting up the scene is important. Finding someone whom we have confidence, and then giving him that confidence that you can correct me now. Okay. Many times we approach a guru or we accept, yes, Prabhu, I will follow you. But whenever you are told to do certain things, immediately your mind will start telling, giving excuses or giving reasoning why you can't do that. Sometimes it happens. People, when they come in front or in class, say, Prabhu, I am very, whatever you say, I will follow. But later on, I mentioned one statement, I express one thing to do, then you have to do 10 times or 20 times follow up for that, whether he did or not. So that is not confidence, keeping confidence. Confidence means you should win the trust of the person, for the guru. You should win the trust of the guru. And that is possible when you follow instructions diligently. If you don't follow the instruction diligently, you are careless, you are casual. So then naturally, you won't be receiving any guidance or help. It is just like a social relationship. That relationship will remain like a social relationship. Okay. Hi Guru, bye Guru. You understand? We say hi Guru and bye Guru. So it won't help. Therefore, you see Arjuna's disposition after venting out is very quite amazing to learn in our life. He surrenders to, he wants to stop the friendly relationship. A very important point. So we see that aspect. Okay. So please read this verse. So we will go from anyone can unmute and then they can share. Okay, they can repeat after me. Provided see that others get option. I'll not choose anyone here because sometimes people are not available. They are on the Zoom, but they are not in the meeting. So anyone can repeat after me. But once once on, they give next time others option. Okay. Sanjay Uvacha.
Sanjay Uvacha.
Okay, this may will change the. Here it is not showing. So in this Arjuna's scene, Sanjay describes Krishna sees Arjuna's lamenting like an ignorant man and responds. Okay. So here, when Krishna is seeing Arjuna, Arjuna is till now when outside people see Arjuna, Arjuna will be like a very amazing personality. Kya reasons diya? He spoke from Artha Shastra, he spoke from this, how family tradition should be maintained, he spoke on that. Lot of good lessons Arjuna gave in the first chapter. But however, Krishna sees him as an ignorant person. See, many of us, our weaknesses are not seen by equals, are not seen by the juniors. It is observed by the seniors. Many of our mistakes or many of our weaknesses are not observed by juniors. Or your friends may not observe much. Or they may observe in a friendly manner. But what superior sees, others can't see it. Therefore, when you receive any instructions from superior, take it very seriously. It's for your improvement. So Arjuna is lamenting like ignorant man. That's what Sanjaya says. Okay, this is the verse. Sanjayo vacha
Sanjay Uvacha
tam tata kripaya vistam
tam tatha kripaya bhishtam
ashru purna kulekshanam
ashru pauna
vishidantam idam vakyam
vishidatnam sidam vakyam
uvacha madhusudana.
uvacha madhusudana.
So very important word here is Madhusudana. It is explained here. Madhusudana means one who destroys, kills the demon called Madhu. Madhusudana is the Lord Krishna who killed Madhu demon. Madhu demon, our doubting tendency is compared to like a demon, Madhu. So Dhritarashtra is very happy. Dhritarashtra is happy that Arjuna has left the bow. He is not ready to fight. So Dhritarashtra felt very happy that Duryodhana and party will win the war without not much bloodshed. But however, Sanjaya dispels that Dhritarashtra's happiness by mentioning the word Madhusudana. Because Krishna here is standing not to just console Arjuna, who is ignorantly crying there. Arjuna is ignorant. He is compassionate, but his compassion is based on ignorance. He doesn't have that spiritual compassion. He is having compassion for a gross body and is crying for that. So therefore, Arjuna is being helped by Krishna, who is addressed as Madhusudana, who is going to destroy his ignorance. The ignorance is compared to like a demon. Because of ignorance, we doubt. So here Arjuna, Sanjay addresses Krishna as Madhusudana, and whatever happiness Dhritarashtra is feeling now, he starts getting enlightened. Yeah. Pandavas may be silent, but Krishna is not silent. Krishna is not silent for adharma. He is going to respond. But he is trying to set first Arjuna. Because when Arjuna, as a devotee, if he is not responsible to establish dharma, then who else will do? Therefore, you can see Krishna is more angry with Arjuna than Duryodhana. Right? Krishna is very upset with Arjuna than Duryodhana. Because after doing so much arrangement, Arjuna is saying that I will not fight. And his reasons for not fighting are based on ignorance. So therefore, we see here very important aspect which is going there. So from the purport, Krishna is there. Krishna is called Madhusudana. So this we discussed. So signs of ignorance. How Arjuna is called control? Because he's trying to save a person's proper mentions. To lament for outward dress is unnecessary. So a person is drowning in the river, and you somehow found a person is drowning and asking for help. Somehow you went on a boat and tried all means, and finally you saved the coat which he is wearing. You took out of the river, and then you saying that somehow I saved the coat, but the poor man is drowning in the river and suffocating to death. So similarly, here Arjuna is trying to save the material body of the opponents. It is Bhishma or Dronacharya or Duryodhana. He felt saving their material body and forgetting about the soul. That so is ignorant. No? So ignorant person is identifies with the body. Therefore, in this particular chapter, Krishna speaks about how the body is different from the soul. The living beauty after death, it's the same body, but when the soul leaves the body starts thinking. So then Lord Krishna spoke how the impurities have come upon you, Arjuna. You are speaking like a Vidwan, but you are simply, you are crying. You are speaking like a Vidwan, but you are a fool number. Yeah. Anyone else? Please unmute their mic and repeat after me. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Kutastva Kashmalamidam
Kutastva Kashmalamidam
Vishame Samupastitam
Vishame Samupasmitam
Anaryajustam Asavargyam
Anaryajastam Ashavargyam
Akirti Karam Arjuna.
Akirti Karam Arjuna.
Amazing verse. This verse and next verse. In these two verses, Krishna tells the faults of Arjuna's observation. Shri Bhagavan, Kutastva Kashmalamidam. How such impurities have come upon you? Vishame Samupastitam. Anarya, you are not speaking like Arya, civilized man. You are speaking like uncivilized man. Ashavargyam, Akirti. You are simply gaining only in fame. No fame is there. Akirti. Kirti means fame. Akirti means no fame. Karmanjuna. Next verse. Kailavyam Asmagama Parda. Yeah, anyone else? Please unmute.
Prabhuji, I can.
Yeah, please. Klaivyam Asmagama Partha. Aitat Vayupapadyate.
Naitattvai upapadadhyate.
Shudram Hridaya Daurbalyam.
Shudram hidaya dorva.
Yakvo Teshta Parantapaha.
Prabhuji, I can't see the slope.
Okay, you're not able to read the Hindi one? Here?
No, Prabhuji.
Okay, fine.
No, I can't read Hindi.
Fine. That is not visible here. Yakvo Teshta Parantapaha. So we see here in both these verses, Krishna's response to see Arjuna's lamentation. So we saw that Arjuna is lamenting out of ignorance. He is lamenting till now based on ignorance, means ignorant of the real identity of the person. He is speaking so many things, but his speaking is based on bodily identification. And Krishna is responding. Krishna condemning by following words. Anarya, non-Aryan, his face, the first word. Second word is Kashmalam, implies impurities. So many impurities have come upon the mind of Arjuna. That is what the second point is mentioned. Third is Klaibyam, the third verse which you read, Klaibyam. Klaibyam means implies important. Here Arjuna is referred to as important person. Being a Kshatriya, it's important for you to perform your duty, but you are behaving like an important person. लोग बोलते हैं ना, काम करने के समय आप कोने में बैठेंगे कुछ काम के बिना, इनको इम्पोर्टेंट कहते हैं. एबिलिटी है बट करने के लिए तैयार नहीं, डर रहे हैं और कुछ इच्छा है और क्या क्या हाथ पैर बैठ के बंद करके बैठ गया. So इसको क्लैब्यम कर important. And hridaya dairbulyam. Arjuna is also having the weakness of heart. So you see, the 4 aspects are mentioned about Arjuna's faults. Krishna silently observed all these things. Throughout the entire chapter 1, he did not speak a word. Krishna. He just waited for Arjuna to complete. See, imagine. He's observing a lot of mind mein what is happening with Arjuna is observing Krishna, but he did not immediately counter it. It is only when Arjuna became completely lost, when I gave a Gandiva and started crying, that is the time Krishna started questioning him. He is not concluding. He is just questioning how this impurity have come upon you, how you are so important, how you are acting like an important person. He is questioning him. He wants Arjuna to think over it. How you are Aryan, you are an Aryan civilized man, but you're behaving like an uncivilized person. Anarya Justa. So like that, Krishna is trying to question Arjuna's this type of faults. Why you are having such faults? What has made you to be in that particular situation? Like that. So like that we see in this particular chapter. So Prabhupada in the purport, he elaborately explains about each one of them. Which South Machi also covered. Arya means civilized man, one who knows the value of life. He is called as Aryan civilization. Civilization based on spiritual realization. Non-Aryan means what? Nowadays, modern world, everyone is called as non-Aryan. It's not that Aryan civilization was there in the British and it came to India. This is all bogus theory which is spoken in the textbooks of Indian student, school life. These are all bogus. It's not that Britishers have come and brought Aryan civilization from West to India and India is uncivilized. No, India is most civilized. Civilization means which is not living like cat and dogs. Civilization means civilization based on spiritual realizations. A civilization which is based on eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. That is the animal life civilization. The animal civilization. You see here, non-Aryan. What is the non-Aryan? Modern civilization is called a non-Aryan. The Anaryam. But what is that? They don't know aim of life is Vishnu. Swadha Gatim hi Vishnu. They don't realize that the Vishnu is the ultimate goal. And they don't have understanding of what is liberation from the metal bondage. In fact, they do every activity to get bounded more and more. This metal world. And their conception of life is based on pure material, eating, sleeping, mating, and depending. They're captivated with the external aspects of this world, engage in simple activities that are called as Aryan, non-Aryan civilization. And it's not a civilization. According to Srila Prabhupada, it's a dog civilization. Civilization of cat and dogs. They're coming together and fighting and dying. And because of this result of knowledge, it becomes infamy, akirti. Krishna is telling Arjuna, because of this non-Aryan mood which you have, you are attached to the body of an opponent. You are ready to compromise. You are ready to compromise dharma for protecting your family members who are performing simple activities. So you are behaving like a non-Aryan. You are becoming like uncivilized. And this will bring a lot of infamy in life. There will not be any spiritual progress. Anarya Justam is not fitting you as an Aryan. Asvargam. If you are desiring to go to Swargaloka, you are going to upper planetary system, then you cannot behave like this, Arjuna. Even if you assume that you die in the battlefield, you will not go to heavenly planets also because of such thought process what you are having. You should change your thought process. Your thinking is very low, very mean, It is based on eating, sleeping, mating, and depending. So in that way, Arjuna will become infamous in the present and then not be awarded residence in a higher front. Therefore, Krishna doesn't improve Arjuna's compassion. Arjuna's compassion, what he's showing, is simply based on the material body, uncivilized. So that's what we see. Kashmalam, the second word, impurities. So Krishna is very surprised seeing such impurities in the heart. One thing we saw, ignorance of bodily attachment, seeing the gross bodies all in all. And second thing, we see the impurities here. Impurities is lamenting, in ignorance. Being a Aryan family, most civilized, is lamenting. This is what impurity. Where from these impurities have come? So Krishna is surprised. I am always on your side, but still you are crying like this. How can it be? Clivium, important. He is born because of Indra's kripa. So Kunti, Arjuna was born. And he has a great friendship with Krishna. And it is Krishna who is directly guiding his chariot. And how can Arjuna be so important? Why he wants to run away from the battle? So therefore he says Clivium. Kashmalam, impurities. Clivium, important. And the third one is Hridaya Daurbalya. Art is weakened. Because Krishna saw Arjuna has a lot of affection for Bhima, Bhishma, and Drona. And that attachment has made him weak. See, this attachment is not very nourishing. That material attachment is weakens the heart. Sometimes you see somebody you are very attached, in front of them you are very weak. Emotionally you are very weak. You can't take any right decisions at times. So surrounded like that, Arjuna is surrounded by such weakness and things. So Krishna says, oh Parantapa. Arjuna is different. Parantapa means one who chastises his enemies. How can you behave like this in this situation? So and Prabhupada explains on the importance of Bhagavan, which Mataji also elaborated, because in the verses to come ahead, Bhagavan Uvacha. See, Bhagavan, he is referred to because he has full knowledge. This Bhagavan is there on the side of Arjuna to help him. So while helping Arjuna, he is pointing out the faults. And we saw 4 faults he found. Anarya, Asavargam, Akirti, Kashmalam, Hridaya Daurbalyam, and Clivium. So we see such things, such faults of Arjuna's are being pointed out. So we will not see this particular Bhagavan concept. This Bhagavan concept is already discussed earlier in other classes. What is Bhagavan? Bhagavan is supreme, Bhagavan who possesses opulences. And the word Bhagavan is spoken in Bhagavad Gita. It has come for 28 times. So he possesses 6 opulences. He possesses the beauty, wealth, strength, fame, renunciation. All these combined together, Krishna put it. He has all these things. We see these are the 6 things which Krishna has in full. Nobody can compete with Krishna's beauty, Krishna's wealth, Krishna's knowledge, Krishna's strength, Krishna's fame, and Krishna's renunciation. And he's so renounced that he's ready to wash the feet of his Brahmana friend Sudama in front of all his courtyard people, and his queens, ready to wash his feet. Renounced. That word. Such Krishna is standing in front of Arjuna, and can you imagine if Krishna the way he's instructing Arjuna is very loving way. He's helping. Arjuna said, how can I contact Bhishma? The next verse he says. So because when Arjuna is speaking, and when Krishna said how these impurities have come upon you, Arjuna was further giving his reasoning. He says, Arjuna says, how can I counter? Because they're worshipable. Not only he gives reasons, he even counter question Arjuna, Krishna. He counter questions Krishna telling, will you kill your own grandfather, Ugrasena? Will you kill your own Guru, Sandipana Muni? So Arjuna is not able to relate how Bhishma and Drona are standing on adharma. They are not like Ugrasena, Raja Ugrasen. Even though tortured by Kamsa very much, still he remained very dedicated to following dharma. Same case with Sandipana Muni also. But here, Arjuna comparing, how can I kill? This is very important. Yeah, somebody can else read this. Arjuna Vacha.
Arjun Uvacha.
Kadam Bhishmam Aham Shankye.
Kadam Vispam Yaham Sante.
Dronam Cha Madhusudana.
Dona cha Madhusudana.
Itubi Pratiyotyami.
Isu Vipati Yochami.
Puja Harau Arisudana.
Puja Hari Arisudana.
In the earlier two verses, 2.3 and 2.2, we saw Krishna, Arjuna, Krishna is addressing Arjuna and finding his faults with a very genuine concern for Arjuna. Here, Arjuna, see the way he responds. Kadam Bhishmam Ham Sanke Dronam Cha Madhusudana Ishubi Pahito Swami Pujar Arisudana. It is again Madhusudana. But here Madhusudana, he is different what Sanjay is saying Madhusudana. When Sanjay said Madhusudana, he said he is a killer of the demons of the doubts. But here when Madhusudana is referring to Arjuna, Arjuna is referring to Krishna, he is saying that you are supposed to destroy ignorance. You are a destroyer of ignorance. How can you speak ignorantly like that? Will you kill your own grandfather? Will you kill your own guru, Sandipana Muni? Then how you are expecting me to kill Drona and Bhishma, who are like my guru and great grandfather? So Arjuna is countering Krishna. See, sometimes this is what happens because of attachment. When you have strong attachment to anything material, you don't want to hear. You don't want to follow. And you have all arguments why you can't follow and why you can't hear. So that's what Arjuna is doing. In fact, in that situation, a person even crosses the limit of respecting the person. Here he is speaking about Bhishma and Drona as respectable. But Arjuna lost that respect for Krishna by questioning Krishna in that way. You are not killing your guru. How you are expecting me to kill my guru? But Krishna is saying, first you see whether they are in dharma or adharma. You have to observe it. That's what we are telling you to observe and then take a decision. But you are not observing, you are only just concluding. Bhishma and Drona are worshipable, but on the other hand, you are countering Krishna's concern for Arjuna, is doubting it. So very risky. Dealing with superiors, always worshipable, not to be offered even a verbal fight. We should not give a verbal fight to the superiors. Sometimes it happens, like Arjuna is doing a verbal fight. So we are not supposed to do a verbal fight with Here, Arjuna is saying that I will not fight with Drona and Bhishma, but I will fight with you verbally. So one should not do that. Even there is something harsh behavior, one should avoid it. So Arjuna is both way we are observing. We are seeing from Krishna's perspective and also from Arjuna's perspective. So Arjuna's perspective, one should not fight verbally with superiors. How you expect Krishna that I fight with Bhishma and Drona physically? Verbal fight is to some extent okay, but physical fight is too much. Where I had to kill them, it is too much. So Krishna Thakur says, one of the Acharya says, Krishna tells them, Are, you need to fight them because they are coming to fight with you. They want to kill you. You want to offer them flowers at their feet, but they want to throw arrows and pierce your heart. That's how they are observing. Whether he is a guru or a great grandfather, they are coming to kill you, so you must counter them. So, but Arjuna says, no, I prefer throwing flowers at their feet than countering them. Let me die. So what he is supposed to do? Should I go for begging? That's what, I mean, Krishna is asking Arjuna, or telling Arjuna, then what you will do? Will you go to beg? Then immediately next verse he says, yes, I better let me go for begging, giving up everything. So we see Arjuna's perspective of respect to the superiors is very well, good lesson. However, he is just imposing that particular principle in a place, in a situation where he's not supposed to. In a situation like this, on a Dharma Yuddha, he has to fight with the opponents. He has to kill them if necessary. Because Drona and Bhishma both sided Duryodhana. If somebody sided Duryodhana, how can you expect them to be protected? They may be respected, but it's not that they need to be protected. In fact, they need to be killed because they are on the opposite side. The duty of a Kshatriya, you can never give up this. But Arjuna is questioning, counter-questioning Arjuna, counter-questioning Krishna. And will you kill your guru? Will you kill your grandfather? So this is an unfortunate situation of Arjuna. We also happens with us. We also counter-question the superiors. We also become angry with the superiors sometimes. And we speak something beyond our maturity. Sometimes we become so unhappy or so disturbed, so frustrated that we start questioning the superior's involvement in the life. So Arjuna, therefore, he starts countering Krishna in the fourth verse. And in the fifth verse, see, all these are very important. Therefore, today we'll conclude with fifth verse. Remaining we'll take in the next chapter or in the next week. In the 10 verses, we are covering only 5 verses. Arjuna prefers begging rather than to live at the cost of great. So this is a tendency. Arjuna, you see, Arjuna became materially attached, because of which he started behaving like an uncivilized man. Even though he is born in a very great family, still he is behaving like an important person, only bringing infame to his dynasty, Kula. And Arjuna also countering Krishna, who is actually there to help him. Arjuna. So Krishna has come to help him, but Arjuna is countering. So sometimes it happens with all of us. When you are very much materially attached now, we don't take seriously the association of the superiors. We take them very cheaply. we take their instructions casually. We don't keep any heart and any eagerness to give that aspect. So then Krishna is feeling that, okay, if you don't fight, will you go to beg? That's what in the fifth verse he says. Yeah, somebody can read the last verse. Taking remaining things will cover the next week. In the next week, we will not have any reading section. Gurun atavahi mahanubhavan.
गुरून् हत्वान् हि महानुभावान्
Hatvahi mahan. Who is
गुरून्
reading?
अहत्वा
Shivani.
हि महानुभावान्. Yes, Prabhu, I'm reading.
Shreyo bhoktum vaikshyamapi haloke.
श्रेयो भोक्तुं भैक्ष्यम् अपि ह लोके
Atvardhakamastu gurun ihaiva.
हत्वार्थ कामांस्तु गुरून् इहैव
Bunjiya bhogan rudirak pratigdan.
भुञ्जीया भोगान् रुधिरप्रदिग्धान्
Gurun atavahi mahanubhavan. Their great soul is supporting Duryodhana, even though for sake of their own wealth, they want wealth from him, so they can maintain their lives. For that sake, even though they might have done some mistakes here and there by keeping silence, so you don't have to kill them. They've got their great souls. Arjuna is saying, for me, their great souls, Mahanubhava, not the Kamas to Guru Tihaiva. So we see a very important lesson from here. So Artha Shastras and Dharma Shastras, you have to see. Artha Shastras say that if any aggressors who have poisoned you or they kept fire on your house, they kidnapped your wife, or tried to kill you through some dangerous people. So like that, whenever anyone does not, such aggressors can be immediately killed up. However, Dharma Shastras say that you should forgive. Somebody did a mistake, you should forgive. Especially your own family member did mistakes, you don't have to correct immediately. You don't have to give a heavy punishment. You forgive them because they're family, na? They gradually learn they'll realize their mistake and then they will protect. So that's what Dharma Shastra says. Now Arjuna is saying that better to follow Dharma Shastra than Artha Shastra. Artha Shastra say Guru should be abandoned if he is engaged in some abominable activity, like Guru Drona and other things. Could be avoided. A Guru can be avoided if he is engaged in abominable action, or he lost his sense of discrimination. Like Bhishma and Drona, they lost the discrimination. They were silent even when Draupadi was getting disrobed. They were silent. Such people should be abandoned immediately. But Arjuna prefers forgiveness. So why? Because he feels they are like my seniors. They did some mistakes, fine, but they are my seniors. That's how he expresses his ignorance of. So you see, he's not only countering Krishna, but he's also telling how this decision of killing them is completely against the scriptures. He started doubting the instructions of Krishna itself. So he is avoiding the instructions of Krishna. गुरु निंदा कब होता है? गुरु जो दिया हुआ आज्ञा को पालन जब नहीं करते हैं और पालन के अलावा क्या कर रहे हैं, उसको आप डाउट कर रहे हैं. So that's what happened with Arjuna's case. Arjuna still prefers forgiveness because of unique kind of aggressor. These aggressors are not normal aggressors. They are my family. They are my relatives. I don't want to kill them. So Arjuna, Krishna feels very bad about it. This way, we see very important aspect here. Arjuna continues to give reasons for not fighting and finally surrenders. So from the fifth verse also he speaks about this. We have read the fifth verse. First, 1.5. Remaining verses will complete. We'll do it in next week. Okay, from 6 to 10. Anyone has any questions on the topic which we discussed? Next week there will not be any presentation. It will be on this particular topic. Next week we can have the presentation from 11th verse onwards. I'll give the details later on. Maybe Murari Gopal Prabhu, you can choose somebody from your side. That will also very much help. They can also present. Next week it won't be there. Next week we'll have a normal session which will cover the verse number 6 to 10. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for all of your question.